Oh, she's back.
Hello, slag.
Rocky. And we're back. We are back for our second episode since returning. First episode is not online yet, but don't worry about that because the second episode will surely follow it pretty quickly. That's the hope. This is episode number 31. Bit of a special episode today. I am Rob Campbell alongside.
I am your bastard, apparently, Craig Challoner.
No, Daniel, seriously, love the headphones, cornfield.
Very nice. I love the headphones and the graphic that Craig's gone to the extent of creating in the background there.
Like we need all the gimmicks.
He's literally, for those listening on Spotify, go fuck yourself. But but also thank you for listening. But on YouTube, you'll see the imagery in the background, and I absolutely love it. So yeah, episode number 31 for the benefit of Flash Photography and Daniel Cornfield, people at Manchester United to have done that shirt are Nemanja Matic, who is currently there. Craig would be familiar with him.
Nemanja Matic. That sounds like some sort of weird knockoff robot. Bring forth the manual Matic. Good evening. I score goals. Or do a save. What is my position?
You're playing defensive midfield, brother, and you can't run it. You can't run anymore.
I will kill them all.
Just try your best.
Get it for
Also, legend Bastian Schweinsteiger. I wasn't a Man United legend, but he's a legend. Are you ready for this big one? Marouane Fellaini.
No idea who that is.
The Afro man. The Belgian Afro man. The tall motherfucker that David Moyes used to bum off.
Yeah, all you, brother. All you.
Okay. Darren Fletcher also wore this shirt before moving to 24. And Keith Gillespie as the other notable mention.
I know some of those names.
We do football too.
I'm glad you do.
No, I don't. I just want to feel included.
Check us out tomorrow night for our review of Match of the Day. So getting into the show, this is a special request show. So
isn't it for us?
It is a first for us. So we're taking a break from our timeline. Our last episode was Survivor Series 1997. Obviously, check that out. Hopefully, on the gimmicks. If you haven't listened to that one yet, but this is a special edition episode requested by a fan, Nick Opelwoski. I'm really hoping that I didn't butcher that name, but I probably did.
Cheers, Nick. Next time, if you come through and do any more requests, please phonetically spell your name so it's a lot easier for Rob to say.
Absolute. Get Google
or
to
remove
read
it.
Or just give us a first name.
Yeah.
Up to you. Up to you.
Just write into us. You know the PO box.
Yeah.
Bringing back all the gimmicks. So the show that Nick asked us to do is, it's a British show. It was a WWF show that took place in the UK, the Royal Albert Hall to be specific. It's a battle royal at the Royal Albert Hall. This event took place on the 3rd of October 1991 from London. There was a 5,000 sellout capacity crowd on hand. There's no pay-per-view data that I can give you. It did show on Sky Movies box office, or Sky Movies Plus, I believe it was called at the time, which is dead weird. Why isn't on the sports channel?
They used to do a lot of shit like that back in the day.
You would remember.
I was there.
You were there.
You were still in the sack, were you? Or was you about it?
I was about. But not at the stage of going, Dad, can you order that pay-per-view, please? Thanks. Cheers. All right, Mum. Dad's not here because he's at golf. Can you order that pay-per-view, please? Cheers. Thanks. So, yeah, that's how it works. But thank you. It's an interesting show that we'll get into. Just to also let you know that Black Country Championship Wrestling hosted a show recently, Showdown in Sedgley. That was on the 29th of April. That was headlined by the 0121 and Clarkwood. We're back on the 10th of June with Send Her victorious. And I can guarantee that it will be a fantastic show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice.
Oh, yeah.
As you can see,
It feels weird, though, that the
they're
show's
pumped
called
up for it.
that, and then we're covering this show, which has got the sort of same sort of royal
This is why
feed.
we're covering this show as well, Don. You see, we linked it.
I would say this
It
was a bit
links in very nicely.
all intertwined.
I think one thing I want to talk about first is the venue. Okay. So I realized earlier that I hadn't posted on social media about our trip, Daniel, Beddenfield, Cornfield, whatever your goddamn fucking name is, sticking to Nick Opolopsky. No relation, motherfucker. But yeah, we went to the Royal Albert Hall recently to watch one of my favourite bands. I'm hoping yours too, but Don Broco, the boys from Bedford for the Teenage Cancer Trust back in March, and it was absolutely stunning, this venue.
Yeah, it gives you a whole different appreciation, because it's like watching the show. I was like, shit, I was like probably about there. Like I was trying to figure out roughly where we was in conjunction, and I think because the way the entrance is quite near to the exit, we were in that sort of bit. We were on the floor, seeing the band like jumping in pits and that. So it was fun to have a battle royal at the Royal Albert Hall this year. So again, it's all intertwined. But it's a beautiful venue, though. It's an absolutely stunning venue.
I reckon some people stand outside masturbating order.
Maybe we saw it that night. We don't know.
Yeah,
maybe we walked past a couple.
We were extremely hot. We had our beer jackets on for sure.
Yeah. And then they went off very quickly when it's like 2 points later. It's like, oh, that's 20 quid, please. You're like, yeah, that's all right. I'll stick to water. Shut up and drink.
The travel lodge was the best. Listen to this, Craig. Literally. we'll get to the show. This story needs to be
fuck the rest of him.
Right. So, literally, we're going there. I ordered 2 double JD and Cokes. Right. Let's get us nice and toasty before we get in the taxi. We'd already been having whiskey and Coke in the room. Let's carry that vibe on. So get down. Can I have 2 double whiskey and Cokes? How long is the bar open for? 24-hour bar. Me and him were fucking loving life. We were like, that's dangerous. Dead dangerous. Spoiler alert, we didn't make it back to the bar. But the man tried to charge me, I shit you not, £38.
Yeah.
And I went, okay then. I went, okay then, because it's London.
Amazing.
Right. Yeah. Don was like, fucking hell. I went, yeah, it's London. That explains everything. I was just willing to like tap my card and move on with my life and go, fucking hell, that was an expensive.
No, but then I went, are you serious, mate? 38 quid. Yeah. And he looked and he was like, oh, sorry, mate. I thought you meant 4 doubles.
But then the weird thing is, right, so he tried to make out that he charged just double. That's what he was going with. And then the price was way less than double.
Yeah, it's like there was no logic. It was like he just pulled the number out.
So he literally went, yeah, that'll do.
That'll pay for my food at the end of the night.
Literally, what a prick. So anyway, this show, the Royal Albert Hall Battle Royal, or the Battle Royal at the Royal Albert Hall even, was sponsored by the Daily Star. So I wanted to know, first and foremost,
where was all the tips?
Exactly, Craig.
Marie asked the same question.
So she should.
Yeah. Fucking too right.
Are you
Daily Star, you expect tits?
You expect it to some weird story like I stuck a toe blowing up my arse and now I'm the president of Uganda or something like that.
Yeah, but that was Tuesday, so.
Yeah, sorry. I was trying to look for the story, like the main headline for that day for the Daily Star, and I couldn't find it.
Really?
I did have a look.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be funny just to say, like, well, this is. They were turning around and saying what's happening on this day.
Yeah, it could have been fucking anything, let's be honest.
Daily Star.
Exactly. But yeah, as we mentioned, it's shown on Sky Movies Plus. Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan. Fuck me.
Oh, what a comp.
Legends.
Oh,
So now everyone goes on about JR and the King being like one of the best combos, but these two to me are like classic. This is classic. I always liked Jesse Ventura as well with Monsoon.
yeah.
I think Monsoon was a good analysis guy when you had someone playing a bit of the funny bugger.
It was great to play off.
Yeah. Did anyone else try and keep count for how many we'll use during the show?
No, did you?
I lost count.
Wow.
I lost count.
That's good.
So,
that is. I like that. I like everything about it. But yeah, you're absolutely right. This is a top tier commentary team, like gods of the commentary game for me. As a pairing, they were just fantastic.
Yeah.
Literally, obviously, we get to see the venue in its all its glory. But can we just talk about Ric Flair, please? Because that's what the announcers wanted to do straight away. They didn't want to talk about anything else other than Ric Flair. And I get that Bobby the Brain Alien's like his special advisor and all that bollocks. But fuck me, just give it a sec, like.
So maybe talk about him when he's there.
I love Ric Flair, but give it a sec.
Yeah.
Mate, that was the time Ric Flair was getting fucking shoved right down your throat.
Literally.
He's just come on board, and it was like
the real world champion,
the real champion.
Well, bearing in mind, he's got another company's belt, and that's the only reason that legally they can't say the name, but that's why it was the real world champion, which I think in some way, shape, or form, most companies have done something like this now, down the road.
I think it's a pretty. I think it's a pretty shit idea these days. Like, don't you know what I mean? Like, what it's a 1991 storyline. What are you doing it in 2022, brother?
Yeah. The only way that works is if I think the last one I saw where I quite enjoyed it was Impact.
Okay.
Moose had found the old TNA title and was proclaiming himself the world champion. But that to me is if you're claiming to be a world champion, you've essentially just said, I am actually going to win their belt.
But where did Moose find the title?
In the bin.
Some trash or something.
Yeah. He asked Duggan if he got any spare after he found the US belt in the bin, and he actually pulled out a TNA world title.
Do you reckon this is all the same bin that Alundra Blaze even used? Sorry, I was getting confused with another
Alundra.
Literally.
So many names.
Yeah, franchise chucked the NWA in there as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to say
all in the same bin.
Yeah, but it's a randomizer, so you drop one belt in, you don't know what you're going to get pull out.
Okay, I like that. That's good. That is. Obviously, Brain compares the venue to Madison Square Garden to give the Yanks, even though they'll probably never see this event ever, a little bit of comparison. And did anyone get the ring announcer's name on the night?
Mel. I got
Nice.
Mel. I heard Mel. I was like, yep, that'll do.
It's half a job.
We hire about surnames on this podcast. It's what's your name?
Yeah.
Thanks, Nick. Insert surname. Cheers, Mel, for announcing.
So it was Mel Phillips, but I'll tell you what, right? I scoured the internet for a good half an hour looking for this motherfucker's name, like trying to find him, because they never announced him at the beginning of the show. Literally, fucking 3/4 of the way through, it's got to be just before the last couple of matches, before the Battle Royal. Gorilla Monsoon goes, "Let's go down to Mel Phillips," and I'm like, "What did he say?" I didn't catch him. I had to rewind it about 3 times and then eventually put the subtitles on, just so I caught the bloke's name. That's dedication for you, days.
Oh, lovely. Do you reckon Mel was in his ear? Do you reckon Mel was in his ear? Like, dude, you never even said my name at the beginning. I'm the one announcing the matches.
I reckon Mel would have fucking absolutely shat on him, yeah.
Yeah, Monsoon would have broke him.
Yeah, well, there is that. Yeah, there is that. But let's get into the first match of the night, because that's what we're here to talk about. It's a tag team match, and it's between the Nasty Boys, Brian Knobbs and Jerry Saggs. They've got Jimmy Hart in their corner. They're taking on the team of the Rockers, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, well, before he was that, and the Murderer, before he was that anyway, Marty Jannetty.
I thought you were talking about Jimmy Fly Snooker. I was like, what the fuck?
Bacon,
A
mate.
member of the Rockers.
Most I'll talk about is Stevie Richards if we carry on.
I was going to say Bacon's going to turn up, eh?
Yeah, exactly. Fucking hell. Joey Morella's the referee. What are we saying, lads?
Yeah, don't even pay attention to the referee in this.
I'm going to say, I think there was only 2 refs all night. I think
There
there was
was.
him and Danny Davis.
Danny Davis.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Danny Davis has worked for them in the past as an enhancement.
Oh, WrestleMania 3, he was in a match.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean, enhancement. Then
In his
again, though,
stripy trousers.
how many different venues you can have? I mean, eventually. So, but nah. They were decent. Were they Mark Curtis? No.
Nice.
They weren't Mark. That's the level to me now. If you want to be on like any sort of level, you've got to be at least Mark Curtis for me to recognise you. WCW, the ref who's always like he's jumping about, he's bumping more than the lads.
Yeah, I'm a Timmy White guy.
Strong choice.
All day. I love the man.
Well, I mean, you give us 2 really good choices because one died of stomach cancer and the other one tried to kill himself on telly every week.
No, he did. He was Kenny. What? He just kept coming back.
Yeah, that is very true, actually. It was almost like a fucking South Park episode. You are right there, to be fair.
So go on, Bob. Who's your favourite of all time since we're on that sort of ref?
Other than Baby Earl.
Obviously.
Mike Yoda. Oh, hello.
Mark Curtis has come back.
Gimmicks didn't agree with you.
Mark Curtis is possessing your shit.
Literally, he's got to be out.
Fuck you.
Ahmed Johnson has been completely taken out. I'm not sure where he's gone.
Just like to throw out a special shout out as well to Charles Mage.
Oh.
Charles Robinson as well. Like, great ref.
Yeah, very
much.
much.
Just ref.
Helps when you look like a legend. It helps. That's all I'm saying.
It helps get it over, man. It helps get it over. So match wise, I'm probably not going to spend a lot of time on any of the matches, to be completely honest with you, because personally, I didn't really enjoy the whole of this. I think there was potential to do a little bit more with who they had there with them. They could have really put on a spectacular card if they wanted to. Some matches you think like this one, it's fine in terms of the 2 teams, but you've got the Legion of Doom, who are the tag team champions on the card. I mean,
who else you got?
Power and
Glory later on.
This was quite heavy with the stories. This was.
Oh, okay. Yeah. This particular match,
like the show itself, they tried to keep everything within the story realm. Wasn't it? Fucking back in the day, it was all about the story.
Yeah.
And pretty much all these matches had a meaning for what each team individual was doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just throw in a bit of defense.
No, that's a good defense, man. I'm quite happy with that defense. But I'm now going to ask you to tell me what the story was.
I can't remember.
I mean, me personally,
I rest my case.
I didn't say it was a good story.
I want to say Nick Offerberger over here defending Amber Heard. Look at that comment.
Oh my god!
I object to my own question.
Yeah, objection. Hearsay. Yeah.
That's your own question.
All right. So match-wise, and I'll probably say a lot of this, but it was a classic something to this one was a classic boo-yay sort of start. The teams were really trying to warm up the crowd, and the Rockers were on top for quite a while. I really liked when Shawn Michaels hit the super kicks, like the double super
his own little super kick party back in 92.
Literally, well, in 91, you know what I mean? 2 super kicks in a row. That's a super kick party. You are absolutely correct. In 1991, and the Nasty Boys took it quite well, actually.
Yeah.
They always brought it.
I think the Nasty Boys get a lot of shit for being a bit trash bag wrestlers. They're sort of, I think there's certain wrestlers you can look at and go, right, I'm not expecting sort of a Steamboat Flair classic technical match. I'm going to get like that sort of like dirty down fighting. But I actually quite like the Nasty Boys. I think they were a very underrated team at that time, at least.
Yeah, Nasty's had a good feel to them because you believe they was going to kick the living fuck out of someone.
Yeah. Even when they were face, they were like sort of, I dare say, anti-hero, because they weren't like, oh, we're good guys. They were still like, no, we're still gonna, rub out armpits in your face. And
Balls Mahoney used to remind me a lot like of the Nasties, because they could wrestle, just like the Nasties. They could wrestle, but they didn't need to.
Yeah,
the gimmick worked with what they had.
Yeah. The only thing I'm disappointed about is the fact that they inspired teams like Public Enemy.
Yeah, I watched them get buried under chairs earlier.
Nice.
Was that against, if I remember right, that's Cactus and Funk?
Yeah, well,
ECW, and he waves the chairs and.
Yeah, it's a one-on-one, ain't it? Cactus versus Funk, and then Public Enemy come out. So they're like, "Give me a chair!" Oh fuck, you give me all of them.
Yes,
that's awkward.
Here's a little tip for your kids: if you ask for a chair in a group of 500 people, listen, you're asking 500 people to throw one thing at a time. Just remember, one at a time, please. One at a time.
One at a time, and I'm probably going to say this a lot.
That's not what
as well. That is not what she said, but I am going to say, I am going to probably say this a lot tonight. I think they give a lot of the matches too long.
Yeah. It feels very house show.
Yeah, it does.
That'd be fair to say a lot of the matches felt house show.
And that's why I thought, well, if you're going to house show it, you put your sort of best card on in a house show, don't you?
Yeah.
So I think if we re-fantasy book this, we'd probably have a different card. Each of us would probably have a different card.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't hate any of the matches on this, but every single one of them had a little bit of a okay, move on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's it's
a serviceable match. It's just to sort of jump ahead to the end. I feel any sort of goodwill that the match had right up to the end, it just got lost by the ref. I think that really killed the crowd a little bit with that one.
Yeah, the finish was messy. Yeah, it was the megaphone being used, but it really was a botched spot. And I was really surprised also that the heels went over, but we all know obviously what's coming in a short amount of time, really. So if you don't know where it's headed, basically pick a fucking window, Marty.
Well, that's it. Marty didn't fucking get hit by a megaphone. He fell on it.
There you go.
We all know what he's like. Clumsy fucker. Falls through windows and everything.
Murdering people, fall through windows.
Yeah, fucking his daughter. Wow. Murdering people.
I slipped, bro. I slipped.
Stepdaughter, whatever.
Wow. 16 minutes, 21 seconds. A little bit too long for my liking, especially for what they did. One honourable mention in terms of a fucked up spot is at the beginning when the Clarks, I was going to call them, when the Rockers were like tagging in and out, but there wasn't like.
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
Yeah.
They were doing the heel thing. We'll fucking mention it then, and then just up to me to bring it all up.
Well, I was getting to that for the end of the fucking thing. You jumped on it, there you?
Sorry. I just remembered that I wanted to call it out because it was shit. And then later on in the match, when they actually make a tag and the ref genuinely doesn't see it because of the heels being shitbags, he basically tells them to fuck off, even though he allowed it earlier. Just pick a lane, bitch. Pick a lane.
It was that one when they was doing it, and Sean ran behind the ref's head and just clapped behind his head, and the ref went tag. You're like, what?
I heard it. I heard it.
Therefore, it must have happened. I saw it. Therefore, it must have happened. You're not the other one. You must have tagged.
They're basically twins, though, and it's not the rest.
Literally. This is what I'm saying. Clarks, man. So that's why I give it 1.5 actually.
Yeah, see, I gave it 2, but like on reflection, I think I was around about the 1.5 mark for it, because as much as I did enjoy it with the Rockers, because I love the Rockers, but yeah, he just killed it, man, with the time frame.
So where do you want to land on?
No, I dropped back down to the 1.5. I did originally have it to 2, and I dropped it down to 1.5.
Okay.
I'll be honest, sort of watching this, I sort of, when I was rating them, I sort of went, the thing is, when we've rated shows sort of like when we rated NXT, in your house, I sort of dumbed down. So I'm trying to find like that nice level. So I sort of went a little bit higher than most. So because it's like a different pace, but I actually went 2 stars with this because I thought they got over the crowd. They did the job, and I think it would have been slightly higher, but the finish just lost it.
The finish,
just the whole, yeah. But yeah, I went 2 stars.
Fair enough. Obviously, no star ratings to compare with Dave on this particular one. And we're going to say this a lot, but Mean Gene's got an interview because
I feel Mean Gene actually funded this show.
The only
for
thing
the principle of
sponsored
doing
by
this.
Mean Gene.
There he is. What a legend. The only
Legend.
thing, literally, the only thing that Mean Gene didn't do is plug the hotline.
I would say, where's no hotline bling in London?
No, literally no hotline bling whatsoever. But he's with Ric Flair, and I'll tell you what, this promo absolutely just rock solid. I was at by the end of this promo, lads.
Really?
This was like taking a fucking Viagra for me.
This is mine and your difference, ain't it?
The man undone his robe, right? I thought he was going to whip it out and slap it in Mean Gene's hand, to be honest. But he whipped it out and he gave us the big gold bout. And as I'm not an NWA, WCW guy by any stretch of the imagination, but that belt to me is Triple H's run on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
As well. So with all that history of Dusty and Flair and blah, 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 Triple H. So for me, I just popped because I was like, oh, Hunter's gonna have that belt in about 20 years, brother.
Yeah.
That belt to me is like WCW just straight out. So I see that belt. I think it's one of the most beautiful belts I've ever seen in my life.
Oh.
See,
it's
as
so
nice
pompous.
as it is.
It's pompous, but it's sort of meant to be.
It needs
like,
a moment.
Yeah.
But Goldberg held it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Look.
No belt bats 100. No belt bats 100.
It's not the point. Fucking Goldberg. He's another cunt.
He's another cunt, to be fair. I can't wait to shoot on him more when we get to WCW pay-per-views. But yeah, so Flair does an awesome promo, in my opinion, right?
Yeah.
And then Tito Santana's music hits, and I'll tell you what, I was well away with it. I was like, yeah, Tito, what a guy, what a fucking guy. and then Ric Flair came out. I was like, what the fuck? Ric Flair's just shot a promo. Why is he walking to the ring now? Why is he second on the card, please? Why is Ric Flair the real world heavyweight champion in the second match on the card? Why?
He wanted a rest for the end, I suppose. Fuck knows.
Why?
Why didn't he open?
This is what I'm saying.
It's, but I'm not a massive Ric Flair guy. Like me and Rob have had a few conversations about this.
Craig has been removed from the chat.
But yeah, I'm not a. But he's fucking solid in the ring, man. He's amazing in the ring, and you can't take that away from him. And put him on second was just fucking weird, man. Weird.
Dead weird. Like I've been wrestling for over 10 years. So has Don. We've all watched wrestling since basically the womb. We know what the second match usually means.
Yeah. It's so obviously for people.
I don't think not as much
this?
now. Yeah, you should absolutely explain it and just
to
clarify. I don't think it's as bad as it was. So
yeah,
I think
it's different. It's different now.
Everybody
started wrestling. This was really sort of like back when like we first started, like when it was all black and white TVs and
exactly
Doctor Who was.
Everybody now sees a wrestling card and they go, "That's an opportunity."
Yeah, it goes up. It's like a curve.
There you go, literally. Yeah.
Where before it's like this is a dip match. This is like okay, we've got the crowd up. Let's bring them down. So when say on a 6-match card, the third match before the interval, would be where you bring the crowd back up. It's just like, it's so mental. So I remember planning matches very early on, and it was like, oh, I'd love to do this, but dude, we're on second. Like, that would literally be like, oh, we could do this, really excited young kid with hair. What I did,
that just sounds weird to me.
It wasn't on my chin. And I literally, the reason I was given was, dude, we're on second, bring it down. And I was like, okay.
Whereas now, no one gives a fuck.
Oh,
doesn't matter now. No, it's different mindset.
What's that, Canadian Destroyer?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah. Get it.
How many times you doing it?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna do it 5 times.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is.
I would say it is like night and day now between sort of watching this show to sort of nowadays, like the sort of the logic, but it's the way wrestling is. It always changes.
It does. It does. This is not a bad match, to be fair. And while we're on the title, Danny rates this as his favourite belt as well. He called it the GOAT, actually. This championship belt. I'm a wing eagle guy.
I'm an eagle guy.
I'll say. Started WCW before WWF, so sort of this is my heavyweight title.
Loser. But anyway, it's a solid match. I think Ric Flair really does show why he's so good in the ring, because he's bringing Tito Santana, and no disrespect to him, he's never been main event caliber really in his career. I know he's had little runs here and there, especially outside of the Fed, but he's not. I would have put Roddy Piper against Ric Flair on this card. That's what I would have done.
Yeah. He was there anyway, so why not use that?
No, it's not big. It's not big enough, is it? It ain't big enough for where they was going. You want to build Flair and Piper. You don't just here's Flair. Oh, Piper's going to jump straight in. You feed him. Give him someone like Tito. You can see him work. Then you can see how good he is at wrestling, because fucking Tito's solid.
Yeah,
Tito was a solid hand.
He made Tito look like legitimate, like he could beat him as well, which
he made Tito look even better than he was.
Yeah. I think that's what Flair's ability is. He can make a so-so wrestler look amazing.
It's a little bit of the problem as well, because Vince probably looked at that and then went, right, we need to change your gimmick, Tito. And by WrestleMania 8, he was opening the card with Shawn Michaels as El Matador. So, just saying.
El Matador. Yeah.
Cheers, Rick.
Move on.
Get the fucking shovel out, why don't you? One thing I did notice about this card, they loved the dead good fucking 10 punch, didn't they, in the early 90s?
No, but on this card, for some reason, they didn't like, at least the first half of the show, they did not want to finish a 10 punch.
No, they didn't.
They got to like 6 and went, no, that'll do.
Yeah, we're building to that 10. We're building to the 10.
Yeah.
7, 8, 9.
We'll ease you in.
Literally, Shawn Michaels would have been proud of Tito's ass, I feel, because any more we would have seen the ball sack.
All I'm saying is that you can tell that's a Flair. That was Flair telling him, he's like, show your ass, they'll love it. They'll love it. They'll fuck it. He's wooing about the place, like saying, then I roll you up, pull the hands, woo, woo, show your ball sack, woo. Outside the ring, they'll expose you later. Like, woo!
Oh man, do you reckon like backstage he was like, tag me in behind the back, listen for the clap like.
Fucking puppet master over
here. 16 minutes, 14 seconds. I went with 2.5 stars. Maybe it's my bias with Flair, maybe, but yeah.
No, well. I went higher, and I don't like Flair.
Wow.
Well, not that I don't like him. Let's clear that up. I just don't think he's great. I went 3 stars, but I will say, like, one of the biggest points in this match, because I got lost, but in the match, I went so deep into it that I didn't even take any notes. I forgot to. Well, I did pick up on Bobby Heenan at the very start, because obviously the little brawl and everything, doing their ring the bloody bell, mate.
Yeah.
In the best Bobby Heenan English accent. It was fucking dead good.
He does a lot of it as well, doesn't he?
You have moments all night like that.
It's great.
Fucking quality.
I did drop like 1 or 2 notes when something popped me. Like
I've got a few with promos and shit.
Oh, I think I know the one we'll get.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
You can just run wild because I literally stopped listening to every word they were saying, other than Piper and Flair. Piper, Piper.
We'll get there. We'll get
Yeah.
there. Oh,
Spoiler alert.
Wanking material.
Don, your star rating?
I went 2.5 stars. I thought Flair made Tito look amazing. It's just like little things he does. Flair, I love the way he can take like a back body toss, and he sort of always looks like he's going to hit his side, and he sort of last second just snaps into a back bump.
Yeah.
And I get that. I mean, bearing in mind the guy broke his back literally many years ago. Like I saw a picture that Dustin Rhodes had posted on Twitter, and it's Flair in his younger days. He's like 300 pounds of muscle.
He was a big man back in the day.
Yeah, like that big lad behind you there, Craig.
And you've seen the documentaries. What's wrong with you?
What's that, dude?
And you've seen the documentaries. What's wrong with you?
Oh, not all the documentaries.
Fuck it now.
Stop watching shit on YouTube.
No, on the network where they all are, and we don't rip them.
Yeah, there we go.
But yeah, 2.5 stars. It was a good match.
Solid and
yeah, good for the winter. Good for a winter star match for me.
I agree. So the boss man is immediately now with Mean Gene. He's talking the battle royal and his match with Earthquake. Anything on the boss man?
Yeah, it was basically shouty. I'm going to win the match.
Yeah. Welcome to 1991.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's every promo. He's a shouty. Salad bar. It's a kettle.
Nando's is shit, bro.
Can we talk about the salad? Was it a salad bar? They kept saying it was.
Oh,
I think in the first match they was like, yeah,
a trophy.
Like, yeah, look at that silver thing. They were really struggling until they got it. It's like, you know, when someone forgets someone's name and they have to say the name 20 times.
Yeah, they got it.
Salavar. Oh, that popped me so much.
I think they said it was something to do with some Russian silver towards like the end, but I couldn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
This happened a lot as well. So immediately from that interview, Mean Genie's now in front of the crowd, in front of the live audience, at the interview sort of section, and then he's interviewing Earthquake with Jimmy Hart, and he's talking to Earthquake about Earthquake insurance, baby. Anything on Tenta?
I loved the line he said about like it's such a long boat ride.
Yeah, that's what I've literally got on here.
That
like,
pop,
it's so far from the US. Oh my god.
Yeah,
nearly
that's
killed
why
me.
I got a plane. I was like, fucking yes.
You know how long it takes on a boat?
I was going to get a boat.
Nah, I love Earthquake. He's one of the better big men.
Yeah.
I think he's quite underrated as a big man.
Yeah.
He don't get enough credit for
this is his best run.
Yeah. I like a big man who's clearly not in shape, but is willing to gun show.
Yeah.
And the Quake loves doing it, so I'm all about that.
To be honest with you, the thing is, when he mentioned the boat, you've got to think, was he setting up one of his future gimmicks?
Sharky, baby.
There you go. We're going to need a bigger boat.
Maybe he played yours.
Yeah, maybe he did. Joey Morella is back as the ref for Earthquake, who then goes to the ring and he's taking on the big boss man, who immediately had an interview like 5 seconds ago. Can we just give a huge shout out to the big boss man's music, please?
So glad you brought this up because I got this.
By far one of the greatest entrance musics ever, especially on this card.
Completely, it's amazing. He carries a big stick and a ball and a chain too. Yeah. You're looking for trouble. He's coming after you.
Yeah.
Fucking perfect.
See, this to me reminds me of like WCW theme music, because you'd have people like Sting, the Steiner Brothers, Hulk Hogan, who came out to these sort of like, but it was always like a Cher knockoff singing it. Yeah. I love that style of music.
Huey Lewis and the News.
Yeah, I love that. It's a banging theme music, actually. It's better than the one he got in the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But different style then, so.
Yeah, definitely. I think the match is a good example of big man versus big man. They also get too long especially for the Quake. I know he handles it seemingly. Bossman handles it better, throwing things like a fucking insecurity out there late on in the match, which was just crazy to see. But it did go 15 minutes, 47 seconds. And I think one of the standout spots for me was when Bossman caught him into a power slam.
Yeah.
Or the other way around, I think it was, sorry.
Oh, yeah, that was the other way around.
Yeah, Bossman
like,
jumped off for a crossbody and Quake spun him round. Headbutts in the corner looked like he was sucking his dick. And Bossman was like proper drenched after as well. So it didn't make for good viewing. And then I really liked the crossbody in the ropes, when Quake was tied up in the ropes.
Oh, and then he sort of sunk down into it.
I like that. But
I
the
think
finish
it would help having ropes that loose. Because you try that when like, ropes are fully tight, you're gonna hurt someone.
You're absolutely gonna hurt someone. But the finish was another shit finish for me. It was an elbow to the back of the head basically after the mountain got involved.
Yeah.
And it didn't massively affect my rating. I went with 1.5 stars for this as well.
I enjoyed both the guys in this. Mate, it was about 8 minutes too long for me.
Yeah,
I didn't need that much of it. Bossman and Quake showed they can move for big guys and they showed they could fucking hang. And Jimmy Hart, I think, upped it 0.5 star for me because he's an irritating fuck. And that's what he's there to do.
I would say he's doing his job then.
Yeah, he did it really well. So it put me onto 1 star. That did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very low.
I love Earthquake. I love Big Boss Man. For two guys their size, they do what at that point at least is unique.
Yeah.
And I love that. Just this match didn't work for me. I thought like on paper this is like two of my boys. Yeah. This is gonna be like a sort of bit of a hidden gem, and it just really wasn't. I went 1 star because it wasn't a bad match. It was just like you said, it was far too long for them. Like if they'd have gone 10 minutes tops, it could have been a better match. But that power slam was awesome. Yeah. That popped to 1 star.
That popped just to 1 star. That's fair enough. Guess who's back? More Mean Gene. So he's talking about the trophy, the rules of the Battle Royal, and then in comes the one-legged man himself, Texas Tornado, Kerry Von Erich.
Oh, in his best dressing gown as well.
You gotta love a dressing gown.
I'm gonna say I love this. Just like I've got it written. It's like promo in a sweet dressing gown. I'll just pop me.
I got too excited about the fact there was no shouting. I got that excited that he didn't shout. I forgot to take notes on what the fuck he said.
you had to turn the volume.
I couldn't get past it. I was like, wait, what? You're not shouting at me?
What is he talking? What's this? This isn't a 1991 promo.
What's this talking they're doing? That's fucking weird.
Kerry, turn your volume up. You can use your outside voice now.
Imagine if Jake the Snake was on the card. Fucking hell, we'd struggle, wouldn't we?
Oh, mate, love it.
And then once he's done with Kerry Von Erich, he's out the front then. And once again, Jimmy Hart, he's there. He's earning his fucking money tonight, that lad is.
Mate.
With the Mountie, so the Mountie's back as well.
I thought
Jimmy Hart
Art's changing his jacket throughout the night as well. It's just great.
He doesn't have a Mountie jacket.
No, he did.
He had one for no, that was the tour jacket he had.
Kicking
the
off
one he went out with the Nasty Boys. He had an Astral jacket.
He had the
and then he had the tour jacket.
Yeah,
like the Nasty Boys one's pretty easy to do. Just follow the Mountie one. All right, I'll give you that. Probably difficult, but you want a bit of cash.
Yeah, John Tenter's not goat for life though for no reason, is he?
He is okay.
Goat for life. All right then.
Let's just clear that now.
No, let's not.
Fake muffin.
So the Mounties in a match now against Texas Tornado. We're sort of following the same fucking structure all night. Danny Davis is back to ref this one. This for me was like watching a classic camp match. It was work that fucking crowd and do as little as possible just to waste time. They had 13 minutes 46 to waste, and it literally became a match of rest holds and comebacks. And the fact that he went for the fucking tornado punch on the outside and hit the ring post was a load of bollocks for me. But that's what set up the finish. And once again, another heel goes over, but this time with his feet on the top ropes rather than holding the trunks or cheating to win. Yeah. And has a face won yet?
No,
nope. And we're at match 4, 1 star.
You can't really blame Mountie. He fell over and his feet got hooked on the ropes. That's not his fault. It was an accident.
Bobby even pointed that out. Your feet go like top rope. Exactly. Yeah.
Bobby even pointed that out to everybody. So let's not be too hard.
I do like Bobby's version of events, shall we say, on commentary. They always entertain me.
Man, he somehow accidentally got his feet caught on.
Yeah, it just happens.
It happens. I've seen it happen 1,000 times. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this match was very stop-start. Nothing really going on. When they did wrestle, it was all right. I mean, it's Von Erich, fuck's sake, the most cursed family on the planet. So that's always going to be interesting. Will he die? Won't he die? Someone going to get shot in the face with a shotgun. Who knows what's going to happen? But 1.5 stars.
Oh, I did not feel this match. Like Mountie working the crowd pop me. Like he went into overdrive working that crowd, and like a quite knowledgeable wrestler told me the other day. It's like just begging at that point. It's like don't beg. So like that was it. Felt like that, but I love Kevin Von Erich. I'm so gutted what happened with him, but yeah, all the same, that was 1 star. Was not a good match, and he did it with one leg. So
he always did.
I didn't know that until recently as well. So like watching matches,
crazy,
back, like, fucking Zach Gowen, step your shit. Look what fucking Kerry's been doing.
You jobber, you fucking jobber.
NWA champion, and what are you doing? Come on,
get pushed down the stairs, you little cunt.
Don't he have the NWA title before he's won for?
Yeah, he had NWA.
Don't he have both his feet then?
Yeah, I think it was just before he got into the Fed.
Yeah.
It was just probably 6 months before, and then he went against doctor's advice to start wrestling again, and then he started banging painkillers and that to get him through stuff, and unfortunately, yeah, what happened, but oh well.
Yeah.
So I know weird.
Fucking hell, Don. Take a moment, mate.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say
clear. These things happen in life. I'm afraid.
I'm going to say this now. Nice segue to the next promo with Undertaker and Paul Bearer, though.
Very, very much so.
In the time since '88.
One dead guy to the next.
Yeah. The Undertaker and Paul Bearer are here, which is great. And it's good to see, the Undertaker, a month before he wins the title?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he's still very much in the I'm not leaving my feet period in his career, based from when he debuted.
Literally.
Mate, this was creepy as fuck as a kid. I loved it.
Yeah.
It was quality.
Yeah.
And Taker's not exactly known for his promos. No. I don't think, anyway. I don't think Taker's ever really done a standout promo. But there was the line in his promo that hooked me a bit was the sands of the hourglass run out, so will the air in your lungs.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I like that.
That's going in my new album. That's the name of my new album, right?
If Macho Man was still alive, I'd want the fucking them lyrics to be turned into a song.
If only we had someone who could read lyrics via, we miss you,
did.
Mark.
But hamsters, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Some say he was searching the top drawer of his father's desk and found an old service revolver pistol. And unfortunately, it was loaded when he tried it, and he tried it towards himself, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Some say there was irregularities in the retirement fund, and he called to Stephanie to get the police a cup of tea, and he took a step out the window.
It was unfortunate, because I'm pretty sure I heard as well that he accidentally just walked off the top. Just taking a stroll. Just taking a stroll.
I hated that he literally froze at that point for me. So where did he take us? Where did he?
He went for a walk, Rob. He just went for a walk and ended up falling off the top of the building.
Oh, okay, right, yeah, sound okay, nice. But anyway, yeah, the Undertaker talks about
actually walked off.
Just grabbed his bag and then
off to the next time.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Your internet connection is unstable. Welcome back, technical difficulties.
I've jinxed it with a shirt.
So the Undertaker basically talks about a WWF mass burial.
Thing is, though, there was no one doing this to this level, so this was completely different. I loved it.
It was amazing. It was so fucking different. You ain't seen
gripping.
Nothing like this.
It does genuinely grip you.
Also,
even now, like watching, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, you can't not when the Undertaker appears, you just get drawn into every little bit of all of it. It could take 20 minutes to walk to the ring, and you wouldn't even notice because you're that there.
He did near the end of his career. It'd take 20 minutes.
Also,
and it was...
is Undertaker the first person to ever get someone play their music live?
Well, that's a really, really, really good question. That probably could do with an answer. Because
I couldn't find an answer.
Stall for time.
Although he was playing the organ, right? Was he playing the organ?
What, the Phantom of the Hall?
Yeah.
It's not the opera; it's a hall.
He's the actual. That's the only thing I could find about it when I was looking at this. So I tried to find somebody who had music like that earlier than this, and I couldn't find anything. But I did find the guy's name. I forgot to write it down. But he's actually the guy that at the fucking Royal Albert Hall plays the shit. So maybe he did play it legit.
Did you think it was funny as well that sort of a couple of years later when Mabel broke his orbital bone, that he wore a mask very similar to the face
very
of
similar,
the organ.
actually. Yeah.
It's all links.
Long-term storytelling, brother. It's the best. But yeah, the Undertaker, he's basically in the ring now. The only thing that was missing for me was the lights going off, but no big deal. Yeah. Probably a health and safety thing, knowing us back then. Like Undertaker and Paul Bearer, Paul Bearer in the corner, taking on Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Joey Marella is the referee again. So Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Battle Royals. We all know that he famously won the first Royal Rumble in 1988. So he's a strong competitor, you would say, going into this.
I think he's lost it though in the 3 years since he's arguably his biggest moment in the Fed, with the exception of
probably ever.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's it.
What did he do?
Sorry, he won King of the Ring as well, unofficially, off Haku.
That don't count. None of that counts.
Nah. Bullshit. Bullshit. All he fucking did was come out and go fucking USA, suck my cock, here's a flag, fuck off.
Yeah. I was disappointed by the crowd when they started chanting USA. I was like, dude, you're in the UK, just chant UK.
Honestly, I was waiting for the fuck chanting USA. He did it in Canada enough fucking times to dopey fucking prick.
He did.
So I expected him to do it here as well, but
yeah.
There was a few like over the top rope spots in this one, sort of teasing for the Rumble or the Battle Royal, I should say. Taker does, some of the things that you used to, like old school and things like that.
Right. But can I ask a question now as it's been brought up? At the point he's like, what, not a year into the company?
Yeah.
Is this preschool?
Nice.
Because it can't be old school because he's still. This is him doing it so people call it old school.
Yeah, if this is still a year in, this is like baby steps, right?
Yeah. This is reception.
This is reception.
I don't know. This is like the conception, isn't it?
The conception of reception. Exactly.
Yeah. The conception of reception. I like that.
First song off my new album.
So do a few other people and they end up in jail.
Yeah. Or die and then get fucking like called out for being a pedophile and raping probably over about 400 people. I'm talking about you, Jimmy Savile, you fucking cunt.
Or they take him to Portugal and sell him.
Yeah.
I'm talking about UK and Jerry. But yeah,
what's that? put him behind a box of wine. I'm talking to you, Fritzl.
So 6 minutes 18. Hello, Clarice. The Undertaker actually wins this one by disqualification in again another strange finish, and again another heel going over. This is where I become pretty much consistent here. 1 star.
Yeah, I ain't got much to say about this. It showed the power of the Undertaker's hair. That was the push for this going forward. As far as story goes, I could not remember fuck all Hacksaw and Taker doing anything. Like I even searched this one because I was like, it's got to matter. Everything else had a meaning. This, I couldn't give a fuck. 1 star.
Super card match.
I think this is literally just keep Taker strong going into, like you said, Rob, him going to pick up the title. Also, Hacksaw not wanting to do the job.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'll take the DQ. It's
Well,
like,
that was a
you can
common
take
thing at
pinfall,
this
it's
time.
Fine, you can take a pinfall.
It was a common thing for Hacksaw around this time. Didn't want to
I
drop
want to
for
know
anyone.
how many pinfalls he took between this and when he eventually leaves. Because
You reckon Hacksaw Jim Duggan in his head ever thought that he was more over than Hulk Hogan?
Yeah, probably.
100%.
Yeah.
It's probably
He thought
you know what it
USA.
was. He was probably on the posters.
Yeah. Thing is, I think him thinking, right, well, I've got the best gimmick of all, USA,
And I'm on the posters.
and I'm on the posters, so that's got to be the. But nah, 1/2 star,
Well,
and the 1/2 stars for Taker.
Yeah.
Takers. I love this version of Taker when it's very Michael Myers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like even when he's taking punches, his hands raising to do the choke slam.
mm-hmm.
He's going for every time until he gets hit, and even then his hand would never move. I just little
He's
tweaks like that.
constant like that.
Yeah, it's like one train mentality of I'm hitting this move.
When do you think he learned how to sell?
I think when they started humanizing the character, so I'd say after he's had the run with the belt,
Yeah.
and then he started to go against sort of larger lads like Giant Gonzalez.
What a match.
Kamala, sort of when he
Oh.
starts going like Monster of the Week style. I think that's when he started going a bit more human. But I
What?
love this version, very old, like reception.
What a terrible
Reception
idea,
Taker.
man.
Oh,
So we're at Piper.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Piper was really on form, and Mean
Piper's a good
Gene.
promo.
Mean
Piper's
Gene was
a good promo.
Mean Gene was corpsing, man. So
Mate.
let's hear what he was corpsing over, boys. Who wants to give me something?
Okay,
I'll
I
got
actually
you.
wrote it
Oh, you got
down as well.
Go on.
Okay, so he starts the promo like, I'm glad to be around here. He then, out of the blue, just calls him a feather-wearing flocking freak. But because Piper's being Piper, it clearly sounds like he's saying feather-wearing fucking freak. Bear in mind, he's just slagged off Boy George.
Yep.
And bear in mind, Mean Gene's like this. He's like, yeah. He, like, the greatest fight in that building that night was Mean Gene not popping.
I thought I heard fucking
Send for
two,
the
to be
man.
fair.
Send for the man.
Yeah, I'll rewound it twice to make sure.
Oh, he popped me at both times. I rewound it. Both
They
Yeah.
put the
times.
subtitles on for this one.
At the start of the promo as well, when he called out Bobby Heenan, and he's like, "You keep calling this, you keep lying, you lie more than the government. You keep calling
Yeah.
this a skirt. I'm gonna come up there and slap you so long. I don't know what the fuck, so long. You're gonna, your hair's gonna go back to its natural color.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fuck it,
I like the
lovely.
idea that he's going to slap him in slow motion, but it's going to carry
Yeah,
all
it's
the
gonna
power
take that
still.
long.
Yeah.
What a
what's
shoot.
the end of his promo, I'm gonna get that football player, Gaza,
Gaza.
the Gaza, take him to the disco and show him how to ring a few bells.
All I could see
Fucking
was
beautiful. Beautiful.
all I could see when he said that was Adam Sandler's character in Zohan. Disco.
Oh. I'm saying this now. If you're going to watch this show, this is arguably the highlight of the show. For non-wrestling purposes, this is the
Fucking
highlight.
amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing.
Then that's the end of the good promos because we go to Jimmy Hart
Yeah,
again.
there goes.
I think there's one more.
Okay.
But
Fair
we'll
enough.
get to it. We'll get to
We'll
it.
get to it. I'm calling
Yeah,
It was not
LOD.
this one though. Although I did like this one for one reason.
Go on then.
The Typhoon and Jimmy Hart come out, and
Jimmy.
Gene Mean says, I believe he says to Typhoon, "You've got a lot of nerve to do this." He was clearly going to say, "You got a lot of balls."
Yeah.
And I was just like, I think Piper's put him off.
Mean Gene
I
thought he
genuinely
was
think they've just
shooting
gone-
in the back trying to pop people.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
also
Put
by
that
this
cigarette
point,
out.
means Gene's definitely had fucking half a dozen cocktails.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
I would say he's been drinking them from the salmon bar.
He's
The
fucked
cider.
out of his
He's
stream,
poured himself a
man. He's-
margarita.
Literally. So then Power and Glory are coming out. They're cutting a promo around the tag team title opportunity that they've got against the Legion of Doom. Then the Legion of Doom cut the promo. They are my favourite tag belts of all time.
Yeah, I'd agree
Yeah.
with this one
Yeah.
actually.
100%.
Well, I've said last time, like LOD's probably one of my favourite tag teams of all time.
Yeah.
And it's iconic. This is an iconic look with those belts around the waist. And bear in mind, like they won belts wherever they went.
Wherever.
Even
This is amazing. This was the other promo for me as well.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I just
It's
love
this
this.
Piper and Taker.
Yeah.
That was the
Fucking-
3 promos.
Animal just starts screaming, does proper fucking LOD, just scream, "We're the best,
Yeah.
we're gonna win." Hawk,
Yeah.
and then Hawk fucking comes in with swelling of the fluid sac surrounding the brain, contusions, inner bleeding. These are the things our dreams are made of. Sour and glory. Your mother won't accept the looks you've been thrown about the ring from one end to the other, right here in London.
Well,
Oh,
Fucking,
well,
like, what the fuck that bit at the end was all about, don't know. But fuck me.
yeah.
That
That should have been the
starts
pro. I love that little thing at
what
the
a
end,
poet.
asking
What a
them,
poet.
Yeah.
asking them if it's you two in the ring at the end. Because bear in mind, he's been doing this all night with all tag teams. Because Mean Gene's a cunt who likes to wind people up.
Oh, God, yeah.
I just love the response. Well, if it is us two, all I've got to say, like, I just love the what a rush. That
Yeah,
made
what a rush.
that makes sense to me. I fucking
That was a good way to get to the gimmick, to be fair. But
Oh,
yeah,
God,
match 6 is for the WWF Tag Team Championships. It's the champions, the Legion of Doom versus Power of Glory. One of the refs was in there. Hawk was definitely looking a lot better than last time we saw him at Survivor Series. Obviously, you know, he's a lot younger, but he's probably in a much better place, I would like to think.
looking big as well.
Yeah,
In
he was
fact, there
looking
wasn't a
good.
small lad in this match.
No.
Even Ryman
No.
was probably the smallest lad.
He's a big fucker still, though.
Yeah.
He's,
Just because he's in there with Hercules, who's probably the reddest person I've ever seen in my life.
oh, my God.
Dead red.
I love how red that man is. He puts Brock Lesnar's red to shame.
Yeah,
He does.
Yeah.
That's the evolution of redness, isn't it?
I
Really?
want to say, Rob, that's the sort of red that your car is. That's the
Yeah.
that's what it reminds me of. Your red car.
Yeah. My red car that I've had for 7 years. Yeah.
You've had for as long as I've known you.
10 years, 20 years,
Retroactive, though.
whatever it is. There's very sloppy offense at times, just like that was a sloppy joke.
Yeah.
But Hawk does. I love that everyone, literally, no one's responded to that, and that's great. That's the best thing that I could have hoped for, because now you all think it's a shoot.
I didn't catch what you said. You cut out a little bit.
Mate, I was going to say, I got that, and then he went, so.
Oh,
yeah,
you're joking.
So he's popping himself, thinking I got
I
one on them.
Literally, so I said there was very sloppy offense at times, just like that joke.
I don't feel like it was worth a fucking double end.
No, neither do
Sometimes
I.
when you have to explain the joke, it's gone too far.
And the thing is, just like, you know, some nights in bed, it was a very quick finish. 9 minutes, 8 seconds. The LOD retain the tag team championships. Do they? I can't remember. 1 star.
I think the best part of this was the very start of the match where Bobby Heenan's arguing with fans.
Yeah.
Telling fans to go home to mommy. I love that. But other than that, the match, to be fair, it was LOD, Power and Glory. you expect a certain thing out of these, and that's just to beat the fuck out of each other, and that's what they did.
Yeah.
So for that, I'll give them a star and a half.
Okay.
I personally love Sarah and Gory, Power and Glory. I thought they were a great tag team. There's still tag teams to this day who do the powerplex.
Yeah.
Like, if for no other reason, that should be applauded. It wasn't the best match. Why does Hawk never sell a pole driver?
He never sells anything.
No, but especially pole driver. It's like he's gone, what's the one move that's going to drop me on top of my head?
Rumour
Right,
has
no selling that shit.
Rumour has he hates Jerry the King Lawler.
I don't know if he's shooting or being or he's ribbing. I don't know. And we'll leave it to the audience at home. What do you think? Do you think Rob's pulling the badge? Send into the PO box. You know the details. Also get 10% off lie detector test with the code hot tag 10.
If you will, baby.
Only if you're paying in Canadian dollars.
Yes, or crypto, your choice. 1 star. In fairness, though, it was the one match I didn't mind being a bit shorter. Because after sort of watching the last couple that have been 15 minutes, I'm just like, please can we have a quicker match?
Yeah.
Glad that sort of they started shortening the length of the matches in this little bit.
Yeah, me too. It was needed because I mean we're going into match 7 now, and again it's not a great one again, but Bulldog cuts a bizarre promo as per usual.
It wasn't as bizarre as I wanted it to be though.
This was before the real bizarre though, wasn't it?
Yeah, of course it
so
was.
So we're in pre-bizarre.
We are pre-bizarre, yeah.
I mean, he's pretty bizarre.
He's in reception with the Taker.
To be fair, it sounds like a Pokemon.
I'm gonna say I do love his I've just been to Benidorm in the mid-90s. I've had my hair braided look. I love that.
I just saw the Loaf tribute at the Jokers, man. It was class. Yeah, Lord Alfred Hayes, he's here. He's ring announcing. It's the Barbarian of all people taking on the British Bulldog, for no reason whatsoever, I think, and it lived up to my expectations. And then all of a sudden the Bulldog had a busted nose and I was like, how the fuck did that happen? Barbarian repeated the same spot as Texas Tornado with the hitting the ring post on the outside. The only pop I could really tell other than the win was the stalling suplex. They were hot for it.
Yeah.
10 minutes, 7 seconds. Bulldog over, 1 star.
So, yeah, as far as pop goes, his entrance, it's Bulldog's hometown. That was it. He said the fucking finish. Gorilla on commentary to Bobby. Bobby took Barbarian for everything. All that he left him with was those antlers. That was great. Barbarian started randomly screaming fucking just nonsense. Gorilla to Bobby. You're going to translate this, Bobby? Yeah, no problem. English meat tastes really neat. Another great moment from Bobby Heenan. Fucking loved it. Other than that, the match was where I expected it to be. It got a 1.5 stars from me.
Yeah. Not the best match, but that pop was amazing.
Yeah.
The stalling suplex, well, I don't know if someone watched this match in that reaction think, could we potentially have a world champion here if we just iron out a bit of his bizarreness? Because I think if there was ever going to be a time to put a belt on him, like a big belt, probably in the next year, 2 years, when he was still pretty healthy. Because I think when we get to SummerSlam, he ain't in the best of places. So
no, he had a wild night.
Yeah, so did Hawk. It was him and Hawk.
Yeah.
The story goes. Yeah. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. 1 star, but amazing pop though. Like, Jesus Christ, the audio in that building, it does make for 5,000 people. That sounded easily 20,000.
Yeah, it really did.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, then we get literally more promos. It's the Nasty Boys cutting one with Jimmy Hart. Lord Alfred Hayes now goes and does commentary. Literally, the geezer's trying to take everyone's fucking job. The only one that shot at him and said, "Nah, you ain't doing my job," was me, Gene.
Yeah.
Because he's done every other role, hasn't he?
Yeah. I wouldn't mind if he came out as Thingy's manager, Bulldog's manager.
Yeah.
I actually think that would have suited him.
With Matilda, innit?
Yeah. I did
Matilda.
like the Nasty Boys promos, so they outright said they were worse to Europe. They were worse than Hitler and the Black Plague.
Fucking hell,
Oh,
what a
missed
guy.
That popped me, actually. That was like,
Yeah, I
oh,
missed
fucking
that
hell,
too.
mate.
Yeah, I miss that.
They didn't
So-
say
okay.
it in those words, but it was like be worse than that bit of a flu you had in the 1600s and that Adolf guy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Right.
so with this Nasty Boy promo, all I got down for this one was I have no fucking clue. I
I
didn't know
saw
what the fuck
jacket.
was going on.
I saw
Yeah,
jacket.
I did see. I looked at the jackets, went fucking like
As
that.
long
Jimmy
as
Hart
Sags,
quality, but that was it.
as long as Sagsy's speaking, you just go, nah, I can't be asked.
Yeah.
But quick story about like the tag teams and Nasty Boys and Legion of Doom in particular. So I can't remember. I think I had like my tonsils removed or some shit, and I had a wrestling ring and I already had some figures, but I'd never gone to pick figures at the shop. Right. So this is when Asda in Perry Bar had some wrestling stuff in, and
What year are we talking here?
well, my nana granddad took me. It would have been around this era, so the Nasty Boys and the Legion of Doom were pretty much the multi-pack choices as such.
Are we talking like the Mr. Tell action figures where like
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
standard?
yeah. The
perfect.
Hasbro ones, yeah, they're good. Their
good.
arm went like that, I think. Like, yeah,
And yet
yeah.
Bushwhackers never got a toy. Fuck
Their
you.
arm, yeah, their arm did a bit. So out of the two teams, who are you choosing?
Ask Craig because you know my answer.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm on this. I'll be with you. I'll lead you, dude.
Yeah. So would I on reflection. But
So-
for whatever reason, I decided that the toys that I was taking home was the Nasty Boys. Now that I think about it though, and now I'm putting it into like logic and perspective, the toys that I had at home were baby faces. I definitely had Hogan, and I think I had Warrior. So I need some heels to fight.
What's
I
that,
couldn't-
Rob? You booking shows from when you was a baby?
Mate, I was booking shows.
mate,
the
you had to book
second I
your
had
figures.
toys.
You had to.
Second I had toys, I was booking, brother.
What say? Who was the golden boy back then for you then? Did it?
He-
Who worked for you, brother?
The
That's
one
the
that worked for me the most was Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park 2.
With special guest referee Jeff Gold.
No. So
Now you have to
he
give them
was-
proper names, like.
he was the only wrestler that could deliver a super kick. So he was Shawn Michaels for a very long time. Jeff Goldblum from his character in Jurassic
Dr.
Park.
Malcolm.
Yeah. Dr.
Yeah.
Malcolm, whatever it is. That was my
Dr.
Shawn
Malcolm.
Michaels.
That's his name.
That was my Shawn Michaels.
I had a conversation today with friend of the show, Strawberry Bromance,
Yes.
and we was talking about a potential crossover film between
Nice.
Jeff Goldblum and Nicolas Cage.
Oh yeah.
The idea that it's essentially Face Off mixed with Freaky Friday.
Oh, nice.
So it was like, you know, that Nick Cage film that's just come out, the one with Pedro Pascal,
Nick Cage.
where
yeah.
he's playing himself.
Nico.
Yeah.
They play themselves, but they have a face off, like switch face, and then a Freaky Friday happens, but they have to
Nice.
continue living the life of the other person without them knowing.
That's fucking
And
brilliant.
it was just random. It was like, so if that gets written, I'm putting that into the ethos now. Someone
I
would
like
write the
it.
script.
So just
I want
throw it out there, just in case.
Nick,
Well, that's what I'm doing this for.
Nick Oboleski. Can you figure
Nick,
that
we've
out?
done you a solid. Do us one.
Yeah,
then.
Nick. Sucks
Come
it
on,
out,
Nick.
man.
Please get a poster done for us.
Now I'm going to go through the Battle Royal competitors. Obviously Heenan did start shooting on Hogan at some point, which was great on about him making films. But just try and pick out how many of these are Hall of Famers. Spoiler alert: I don't have the answer.
I'm going to say I written down the elimination order.
Right, I've got that too. So,
Okay.
Texas Tornado, Earthquake, Typhoon, Tito Santana, the Mountie, Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty, the Barbarian, the Big Boss Man, Power, Glory. That's what I've written. And also Sarah and Glory for Hall of Fame.
Sarah and Glory.
Sarah and Gory, man.
Sarah and Glory all the way.
Hall of Fame
Hacksaw
2023.
Jim Duggan, Knobs and Sags, woo, Ric Flair, Hawk, Animal, the British Bulldog, the Undertaker, and Roddy Piper.
I think 6.
Pretty stacked, isn't it?
If you go
We had
Hall of
Piper's in
Famer,
it, Taker's in it, Bulldog's in it, Animal and Hawk, they're in it.
yeah, they am.
Flair's in it. Duggan's in it. Yeah.
Bulldog's not.
Bulldog is
Bulldog
now.
is. He is
Oh,
now.
he has no. Yeah. Oh, great.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Big Boss
Oh, yeah,
Man's
of
in it.
course.
Mm.
Actually, it's all right. There's a few. Probably say
Is
half
Bossman?
the field.
Is Bossman?
I think
Oh,
the
yeah, you
Big
got-
Boss Man's in it.
I hope so.
Shawn Michaels
Actually-
is in it. Tito Santana, I want to say, is in it.
We should
Is
look this-
has Tito got like an honourable mention kind of fucking?
No, I think
Did
he
he
got
get a,
actually.
Did he get a Warrior Room?
Yeah,
award
I
or
don't.
something?
Nah, I don't think he went in. You know that bank of cunts, like whatever
Yeah.
that is. I don't think he went in there. And I think Texas Tornado's actually in it as well.
I think the Von Erich family's in, to be honest.
Yeah, they went in as a family. Yeah, Bossman Hall of Fame was 2016. So yeah,
Right.
easy.
Here you go, we're all mad dashing out, just like, oh, well, I'm the one who knows
Well,
all
I
the
thi- I think
answers.
Oh yeah,
there's
it
Matt
was,
looking
fucking,
at
it was his fucking ugly daughters, Rory.
Yeah, it was. I think
Yeah.
there's 11 out of the 20 people in the Hall of Fame.
That's a pretty... And
That's
bear in mind,
what
this is only
That's what I want to go
91.
with. I could
This
have
is
missed
only
some out.
91 as well.
Mm. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't want to get somber and talk about the amount of
Oh,
participants.
if you
that
want to
have
go
passed
one
away.
extra, Alfred
Yeah.
Hayes as well.
Yeah,
Alfred
is he?
Hayes
Okay.
And
Gorilla.
Monsoon
And Bobby. Yeah,
and Bobby. So all the commentary.
Mm.
Mel Phillips, you ain't shit, mate.
Fucking Mel
Yeah,
Phillips.
fuck you, Mel.
So I think, you know, I don't really want to spend a lot of time talking about the match, but we can talk through the eliminations if you want. Yeah.
I got down to the final. I didn't bother until I got to the final 6, but crack on.
Okay. So I'll give it in order of elimination. So Hercules was the first one out. He kind of eliminated himself, even though he was technically eliminated by Hawk.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was dead
Like-
weird.
I had to watch back a couple of eliminations to see if I could see what actually happened.
Me too, to be fair.
Because at the beginning I thought, shit, fucking Flair and Piper were already out.
Yeah, because
I
there's no such
genuinely
thing
thought
as an
that-
instant replay, by the way, is there?
Yeah.
91, brother. Couldn't be asked for that
Exactly.
shit.
Kerry Von Erich was the next one out. He took sort of like a backdrop and then a push off Knobs and Barbarian. Yeah. Brian Knobs was then eliminated by the finger poke of doom by Roddy Piper. Marty Jannetty, he was
Well,
lifted and chucked out by Typhoon.
And then fell over a barrier, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Barbarian's elimination by Tito was pretty clean. I think Tito then was eliminated quite straightforward by Earthquake. This happened a lot. Duck a punch and backdrop him over.
Yeah.
This was a repeated elimination. Hawk was the first one by Sags. Then Sags went straight after, basically. Duggan and Animal just jumped on him after he eliminated Hawk
Yeah.
and got rid of him. Shawn Michaels probably the most unique elimination. He skinned the cat and then he got punched off the apron.
That got a pop,
and punched
actually.
back out by the
Yeah.
man. He did get a pop.
That got a pop, so fair play for him to keep using that a few years later on.
Jim
Fair play.
Duggan was randomly just showing out to the crowd and then the Quake just fucked him off like.
Yeah.
So it was a underwhelming elimination. Earthquake was then eliminated, even though he arguably one of the biggest heels in the match. But because he'd
Yeah.
worked earlier, I guess they wanted to give Typhoon the run rather than Quake.
Yeah,
I
makes
think.
sense.
Yeah. So Animal sent him over. Duggan literally came back in before that though and hit him with the 2x4. And
Yeah.
then Animal knocked him off the apron sort of thing. Flair
Duggan
then
does
gets
not know how-
eliminated.
Yeah.
Surprised by that. That was the one. That got
I
knocked.
genuinely thought he'd been Final Four.
Absolutely.
I actually 100% Final Four.
I mean, Piper didn't even want him to do the fucking Flair bump, really, did he? He
That
was
happened
like,
with Tito as well.
just get up and get the fuck out of here.
Let Flair bump. If
Literally.
he walks off, he's gonna fall.
100%.
Let him walk off.
Crazy stuff. Piper was basically like, fuck you. It was a ducking of a punch and chuck out gimmick. Paul Roma the same fashion. Animal the same fashion. Undertaker, I sort of say fair play to Piper, to basically just fucking straight up eliminate each other, really, don't they?
Yeah.
Take pulling him back over.
Pulls him over. Yeah.
And then they continue and have a little go outside. Bossman, he gets low breach by the Mountie. And then it's 2-on-1 for a while, the Mountie and Typhoon and the Bulldog. And the Mountie, there's a lot of miscommunication, but eventually he gets eliminated by Typhoon after they take each other out. And then Typhoon, he finishes with basically, it comes out of nowhere for me, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Typhoon's all over him, goes towards the ropes, and then it's a back body drop. See you later. Thank you. Wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. 14 minutes, 40 seconds. British Bulldog over. 1.5 stars for the match.
Yeah, this Andre coming in obviously was an extra
spoiler alert.
Extra little. It's still part of the fucking.
I agree, and
to be honest,
that probably had a lot to do with my rating. In all fairness,
yeah, because like up until the Andre coming down, it was one of them, wasn't it? But I was trying to watch it back with new eyes rather than trying to remember it.
Yeah.
Because as a kid, Bulldog, I fucking love Bulldog. Obviously, I'm fucking 8 years old. It was fucking amazing. So like, I could remember the emotion of Bulldog winning out. It was fucking insane. I loved every second of it. Watching it now, yeah. But then Andre come out and I popped.
Yeah.
I completely forgot it happened.
Yeah.
So that pushed me to 1.5.
Nice.
I'm going to say 2 stars. I thought, okay, it's a bit samey, some of the eliminations. Did it tell a story? It told the story it needed to tell. And obviously they've been saying it all night that Jimmy Hart Foundation was going to be big. Like I said, it was a quarter of the people in the match. So we were always going to see that. But I was shocked that someone like a Flair hadn't made it to the final 4. So little moments like that. That pop at the end when he won was awesome because that crowd were like genuinely like, he's not going to win. That got me because I was like, he's not going to win. No, he's going to win, but he's not going to win. Like that crowd went deathly silent. So for that, I went 2 stars. I actually really enjoyed it for the storytelling of it, and then the bullshit afterwards.
Yeah, and it was surprising to see like the heels all over Bulldog. To be honest, because you just think, the babyface is going to just celebrate and jobs are good, but that's why Andre the Giant did come out to save the Bulldog, and give him the rub really, and the big pop. The Bulldog then does get his celebration, and that's the end of the show really. It just ends sort of there. I don't think it was the most spectacular card for the time. I think they could have done a lot more, but you've got to think they're also missing Hogan, Warrior, Savage, Bret Hart, just to name a few.
Yeah.
Top of my head, that is, I can think of 4 people that are missing from the card that realistically, Jake Roberts, mentioned him earlier, so there's 5. That you could have done something with, and I haven't gone back as far as looking into why there wasn't there, and so on and so forth. We know Hogan was doing films. I don't know what the rest of them, the situation was. In terms of average star rating, we have gone with 1.43 as an overall between the 3 of us. Me and Don have come out on par at 1.3. Craig, you like this a little bit more at 1.5.
So yeah, I'd say that's quite fair to be honest for this.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't disagree with the result. Like, I think it's actual good reflection of the show. It could have been better, but it was a glorified house show. Glorified house show.
Definitely could have been a
That's it.
lot better.
Like the matches themselves, they were decent enough matches. Just cut the time down a bit.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You know,
I think
Definitely.
they did this as a test run for SummerSlam to see if it would be viable, and they proved it.
oh,
could.
SummerSlam, yeah.
Yeah. The
Huge.
summer first.
Hilarious. But yeah, that is everything. So thanks again, Nick, for suggesting that we cover that particular event. If there's anything else that you want us to cover, or anyone else out there that wants us to cover anything at all, other than the timeline that we're on between 97 and 2001, drop it in, and we'll do our best to fit it in somewhere. Next up is WWF in Your House 1997, D-Generation X, which is headlined by Shawn Michaels defending the WWF Championship against the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock.
And this is the final pay-per-view of 97 as well, isn't it?
It is indeed.
Oh.
Bring on 98, baby.
Bring on 98. It's a saucy year, especially for the WWF. I remember that fondly. I don't recall a lot of what happened in WCW, so it should be fun. And we'll get to it. I'm sure it will be shit, but it should be fun. But for now, I've been Rob Campbell alongside.
I've been your bastard, Craig Challoner.
And I've been Daniel. What you gonna look me like with a chimney on a what? Cornfield.
Beautiful. See you next time.
Sexy.